Morning tea, having some tea, having some morning tea. Hello, friends. Deb Dana of attachment theory, nervous system regulation, polyvagal theory, all of that has a new deck out, which I clearly have not opened yet, and I thought I would open it here. And you might know, Deb, if you are also a nervous system nerd, trauma nerd, you might know her from this, the polyvagal flip chart. And look, they're branded the same. How cool. Okay. So practices for calm and change. Oh, I love that I go right to this. One of Deb Dana's concepts that she shares that I have always loved is the concept of glimmer. That kind of like, that's over, like if you're looking at water, that glimmer on the top of the water. And so what she says is, glimmers are micro moments of ventral experience that routinely appear in everyday life, yet frequently go unnoticed. Could be seeing a friendly face, hearing a soothing sound, or noticing something in the environment that makes you smile. And so the prompt here is to identify your glimmer cues. What happens in your body that lets you know you're in a glimmer moment? And oh, look at this. Anchoring and ventral. Katie, I just pick up the ones that I was thinking about this morning. I love it. Okay, so anchoring in the ventral vagus is what happens when reliable experiences happen and we reach for to help us in return to a state of regulation when we have been pulled out. So the places, people we go to, the things we do, that which helps us regulate. Savoring, glimmers, awe-inspiring. There's one here, connecting with spirit, signs of welcome. So the ventral, these are all like affirming concepts for you and me. Let's see what's next. Oh, sympathetic. Sympathetic, rant to release, reach for regulation, change the equation. One of my phrases that I'm keep being in my mind right now as I move through the world comes from a songwriter, Emiko, and she says, ain't no problem if I'm the equation. Love that. All right, so change the equation. Our sympathetic survival response comes to life when the signs of danger we are experiencing outweigh safety. We can look at the relationship between safety and danger as an equation to work with. To tip the balance towards safety, we need to reduce or resolve signs of danger and connect with signs of safety. Note the signs of danger you find in memory. I feel like some of these are like, I could see a clinician, like you have this in your office and you're already in a conversation or somebody's like already doing nervous system regulation, healing work in this model. These are really awesome. And you could like pull one and take it for the day. I hope I get to meet Deb Dana someday. I bet she's pretty interesting. I guess I have to change the equation because that's where I'm going today. So we have done ventral and sympathetic. Again, we're in the vagus nerve in the framework of the polyvagal theory. And this is the new deck by Deb Dana. And no, I am not a paid actor. I'm just a nerd and I love these things. And I love maps and I love pictures and cards. Okay, dorsal. Dorsal survivor energy takes us out of awareness. If you saw me 5 years ago, that was me in dorsal survival energy. Lose our sense of being, anchored in the moment, and feel untethered and in need of a lifeline. Touch a dorsal moment, self-touch. Let's see, explore different kinds of self-touch. Touch your face, your heart, your abdomen, your feet. Right, this is havening. Right, to get some bilateral stimulation going. And this also, touch a dorsal moment, implies that self-pleasure is a good thing. What? Yeah. Spend some time exploring what it feels like to feel good. Or at least what it feels like to feel. And then we can get a little bit more discernment. Coming back to life, reaching out, what if, dorsal day, meeting the moment. In a dorsal survival state, a limited amount of energy is available to support a return to regulation. Access its actions that begin to help you move out of a dorsal collapse, following a scale of passive to active and into two categories, self-regulation, co-regulation. What? Okay. So passive, sit. Active, dance. Self-regulation, by myself. Co-regulation, with others. Works for sex ed too, and sexuality, and arousal energy, and cultivating skillfulness in understanding how your arousal energy arises so that you can have a mature relationship with it, or a maturing relationship. You don't need to change it at all. It's good stuff. Okay, I love this. Relational. Here's another category of concepts that she has here. Again, Deb Dana's Polyvagal deck. The power of a sigh. We spontaneously throughout the day, we sigh. We can also intentionally sigh. Let me see if she's. All right. Well, oh, that's because it's a yawn. But here's how you would induce a yawn that would also then be in this realm or this bucket of relational tools, as I'm interpreting this one card right now in this moment. Head stays forward, chin goes to one side, and then you look up. Oh, that was immediate, in part because I did not sleep well last night. Sighing, so lovely for bringing things towards balance. Free objects. Ooh, autonomic haiku. Okay, a concept. A haiku is a form of poetry made up of 3 lines and 17 syllables. So the first, what is it? 5, 7, 5. Yes. So the first, so like a haiku she has here, down the dorsal drain, moving up to mobilize, finding the way home. You know, so make it creative. I feel like I actually do have a place in this conversation. Making playlists for yourself, state of shapes. Okay, the shape of states. Sorry, the state of shapes. The shape of states. For my folks, my fellow autistic people with synesthesia, this is a nice one for us, believe me. Sculptors bring a moment to life through the art of 3-dimensional representation. When we sculpt a state through the movements of our bodies, we get to know that state through its physical expression. So that is not exactly what I was thinking it would be, but it's still nice. The reason I was saying the shape of states might map to autistic synesthesia, or some expressions of synesthesia might not be autistic, is because like we'll say things like, I mean, it can be as obvious as that name tastes like strawberries, but it can also be more subtle. Like I was having a conversation this week, somebody was talking about describing a piece of fabric as, oh, that's the Velveteen Rabbit. And that was an expression of synesthesia. And then what else do we have here? Moving with states. And the last is bonus. Stories of silliness. Here's a concept. It's a complex nervous stillness. I would not have told you that dyslexia is in here, but it seems to be today. Stillness is a complex nervous system experience. Our three autonomic states each have a part to play. And so here's one of those moments with stillness and mindfulness that some kinds of neurodivergencies are like, I would argue, like not in a fighting kind of way, but in a debating kind of way, that there are certain constructions of brain for whom, like for people for whom sitting still, emptying and quieting is not going to work. And not only is it not going to work, it's going to harm. And why is that, Katie? Well, that's because everything can be harmful. Anything can. So, you know, what's the nervous system that we're asking to be still? And is the stillness more important than the aim to pay attention and be aware? I would say number two, more relevant, but I also can't sit still. So I'm playing. These are great. I'm going to have these up there for my students and clients with my IFS cards, internal family systems, which is, that's actually the therapeutic modality I'm in, like therapeutically, but it's also great for fun stuff. So I think if you like the Deb Dana general polyvagal stuff, and certainly if you just polyvagal theory is interesting, these are, yeah. If you already know all this stuff, maybe not, but they're great. And like, you can just pick one and do it. Like, what were those cards we had when we were kids? I'm Gen X. They had animals on them and you would get them in the mail and they came in a thing and it was like a recipe card, but it was for animals. That's what this reminds me of. Okay. See ya.